Hi, it's Mama Rose, and today we're going to make an easy blender Italian cheesecake. So this is my mother's recipe. I did go ahead and I made the Ricotta cheese like I always do because I want good wholesome milk. Now in this case, I got the milk from Trader Joe's. I got a gallon of milk. It was $5.99. It's organic, and I got the whole milk. And I'm not going to dump it. I think I am. I want to cream this because I want the Ricotta cheese. It's pretty moist, but it's kind of like cottage cheese. So I'm going to put that in first. Yeah, I do it different ways. I'm going to try this. I'm going to put it in first. And because I want it to be lemony, I am going to go ahead and, as organized as I try to be, I'm going to go ahead and grate lemon peel just right straight into the Vitamix blender. And the liquid that I'm going to use to kind of get this going and creaming it is the lemon juice, just to kind of get it going. And normally I put the eggs in with it or something really liquidy at the bottom, but I was watching a video today on the cheesecake thing, and the lady there said, once you put your eggs in, hardly mix it at all. So I thought, I think I'll go ahead and try that, even though this Instapot thing turned out to be so creamy. I mean, it's almost like a custard. That's exactly what it feels like. It feels like it has the texture of a custard. And so I'm going to go ahead and squeeze in the juice of half a lemon. That's all I want, is just half a lemon. If I were doing the whole cheesecake recipe, I might do a little over 1 lemon. But I'm not too sure. Maybe I'll put both in. I think I will put both. I'll put the whole lemon in. We'll see how it turns out. Whole lemon in there. And then I want to see how that whips up because I want that creamy. If you don't get the Ricotta cheese creamed, because it's got more of a chunky texture to it, then your cheesecake might not be as creamy, mouthfeel. So here we go. Plug your ears. I'm going to have to get the plunger to give it a little hand. Now what I could do is, I'm just going to do this just for a smidge. Just for... get some more stuff going in here. Now I already measured that out, and it's half of my recipe. My recipe is 1.5 cups of Ricotta cheese. I'm good, which is oh boy, that is 1 pound 8 ounces, and that's how my scale measures. It doesn't go, once it hits a pound, it goes over to a pound, and it says 1 pound 8. So if yours does that, then that's what you got to do. So I already measured that out, half of that, which is 24 ounces. And then I got all of my other things. And this video I watch, I learn all the time on YouTube. She says to get everything at room temperature. So I like that. So here we go. So we're going to go ahead and do, well, we're doing by ounces on this. So this one is the cream cheese. And I forgot to bring my recipe over. I usually could remember it, but I'm not with it today, huh? So we want 1/2 pint. So we only want 4 ounces. I'm going to turn this on. Turn it on if you don't know. I'm sure you do if you're watching this. You turn it on with the bowl on it that you're going to measure with, and it subtracts that. So you get zeros to start out with. So normally I would do 8 ounces of this, a cup of this, but I'm only going to go ahead and do 4 ounces of the cream cheese. Oh, boom, perfect. 4 ounces of cream cheese. I'm going to put that in, and that's pretty loose. So that's going to help our Ricotta cheese loosen up a little bit, because that's a lot looser than the than the Regatta cheese. All right, then we're gonna do cream cheese, and I have this is just an 8-ounce container, so I don't need to measure it. Otherwise, I would put it in here and I would measure out 8 ounces if I had, but usually they come in bricks. This one was really a nice one. It's so creamy too. So the person I watched on the internet, and I'm figuring she's got some science behind it, she says you can mix the heck out of it before the eggs go in, but once the eggs go in, then you pretty much want to hurry up. Otherwise, I have to listen to see what it was. But I know it wasn't good, so I thought, oh, I don't want to do that. And just because I want the sugar to start going in, so everything I do, I've got that sugar going in now. Sweetener, I should say. I'm using the Lancanto. I got this. I had this, and then I went and I bought this one, which I think I'm going to use today. This is another brand that I picked up off the internet. It's all natural, organic, and it is, I think it's organic. Yeah, it's non-GMO, and it is monk fruit. The important thing is if you're looking for monk fruit, get monk fruit extract. That's what you want to look for, not the monk fruit sweetener, because that is going to be a whole nother ball game. So what I want to do, then it's got erythritol in it for sure. And the glasses, I remembered to keep them here. So it says here that 1 scoop will equal 1 teaspoon. Well, that's not going to do me a whole lot of good because I need 1 3/4 cup. So I need to go over here and see what this says for me. This says that 1/2 teaspoon is 1 1/2 cups. So let me get my teaspoon measure. And this is the monk fruit extract. There's no sugar alcohols in it. So we're going to go with that. So I'm going to do 1/2 of that. And that's going to supposedly give me 1.5 cups. Now I need 2 cups of sweetener, what would equal 2 cups of sweetener. So I think I did put this in just for whatever. And then I'm going to go ahead and get my standard one that I use. I usually will mix these when I'm doing it too. So this is the Pure brand, P-Y-U-R-E, and this is stevia with erythritol. And then this is monk fruit with erythritol. And this you use half as much, it's twice as strong as normal. This you use just like it. This happens to be the classic. They sell this in the larger size at Costco now, and it's under $10 for, I think it's a 1.5 pound bag. This is a pound. No, this is only 8 ounces. So you get 3 times this for $9.99. And then, I'm just going to use my little spoon, my thing here. And then, but it does have the sugar alcohol, so just be careful when you're doing it. Now I'm going to, this isn't very scientific, but I'm going to go ahead and put 1/4 cup of this monk fruit in, because really, technically, I've almost got the, what I need with the monk fruit, if it's as sweet as they say it is. But you don't want too many sugar alcohols because then they'll gas you up. So basically on the cheesecake, I really taste it, and then I just kind of give it a good. So this is a good size 1/4 cup. See, it's kind of overfloweth, and a lot of it is the Lancanto. But then I did put, some of the Pure in it, which, like I say, is a double strength. So now that we have our sweeteners in, I need more liquid. So I need the vanilla. I'm going to get the vanilla, and of course I love vanilla, and it says to use a teaspoon for the whole recipe. So I'm just going to go ahead and do 1/2 teaspoon for this recipe. And I so want to just put a little bit more in. Oh, look, here's the monk fruit from this over here. I'm going to set it aside, and then if I need it, once this is blending, I can go ahead and add a little bit more. So don't let a recipe ever hold you captive. If you think you want something else in it, do it. My mother's recipe doesn't call for lemon or lemon rind or lemon zest, the zest of a lemon, but I like it, so I put it in there. So because we don't have the eggs in here yet, remember, we're waiting till the last minute to do the eggs. I'm going to try this again, see if I can't. Okay, so hold your ears. that looks really creamy. I'm gonna get this off here so you can see how creamy it looks. Ah, look at that. Look at how creamy that looks. Very good. It needs more sweetener. So now that I know that going in, because I'm putting the eggs in now, yeah, that monk fruit just is not as sweet as they say it is. And I'm not going to use stevia in this. I mean, in this form, mixed with the monk fruit, I don't know what they do, but when it's like this, it's not real bitter at all in the mix. But when I use my liquid stevia that I sweeten my coffee with or my tea with, it is bitter. So it can take on a bitter, so I'm trying not to use it as much when I'm baking. If you're not baking, it's different. So I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more in. What's a little bit more, you say? Oh, just whatever it is. I mean, you know, if it's salt, you can add too much, right? But if it's sugar or sweetener, you know, you can get along better with it. I'm sure it'll be fine. Here we go. All right, now I'm going to do my eggs. So just because I don't want any disasters, which I'm sure you've heard before, to crack your eggs in another bowl. And of course, do I have another bowl handy? No. Grab that. I am going to get a bowl. I really try to be organized. This is the third time I started this video. And I've already gotten far enough where it's too late to just start another one. So, 1, 2, and just making sure that when it goes in, I don't have any shells or anything. I am going to give it a quick little whisk in the dish right here. Just a quick little whisk. Now, I did put some salt in the Ricotta cheese when after I, you know, processed it, after I made it. When it was really hot, I put a little bit of salt in it, but not a lot. And the recipe doesn't call for salt, but I'm figuring it's because the Regatta cheese you buy in the store usually has some salt in it. So I'm just going to go ahead and, this is my Celtic salt that I have in a grinder, and I'm just going to put it over here, and I'm just going to give it a grind. That's all. Salt will bring, and this is good because we're adding the minerals to it. We like the minerals. So I did combine that good, and I'm going to get my spatula. I'm going to go ahead and put this in here, and then we're gonna have all ready. Now, normally when you're doing this at home, you know, you're not talking to somebody and getting a little distracted, but it's really not hard at all. You know, maybe take 10 minutes to put it together. Here we go. Not so high. Oh, that is beautiful. Oh my goodness, that is whipping up just beautifully. Oh my goodness. You don't need much, she said. Once you do that, once you put the eggs in, you don't need much. There we go. And the sweetness is pretty good. One of the things about Italian cooking is Italian sweets is that they're not that sweet. They're usually on the you know, they're just not that sweet, which I like. I grew up with that. All the Italian cookies and all that my mom made. Now, I wanted to just share with you. Let me get this out of the way here really quick. There. Now, my mom's recipe had flour in it. And I believe the reason that she had the flour in it, she used 4 tablespoons, one recipe said 6 tablespoons, is because, you know how people will put a graham cracker crust on? Well, she never did that. You know, that's an American thing, or I don't know, wherever, but we never did the graham cracker crust. And but I remember a little layer, and I don't know if it was on the top or the bottom. It might be on the top because the cheesecake that I've been doing in the oven has a thin layer on the top. It's almost like a skin. So what I was doing is I was using almond flour and whey powder. But today, when I do this, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to do the cream, the Ricotta cheese, the sour cream, the cream cheese, and those things. I'm not going to put the flour in. Did I put the flour? No, I didn't put the flour in. I did on the last one, and it turned out fine, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and recap the recipe and put my glasses on so I can see it just a minute. But for now, I'm going to go ahead with the springform pan. So I have this springform pan, and there's this springform pan. See, this is the 9-inch. I don't have the bottom. I don't know where the bottom went. The bottom's somewhere. And the bottom to this is on the cheesecake that I just showed you. But this bottom, normally you wrap the bottom with foil, but as you'll see when I go to put this in the Instapot, I'm not going to wrap it with the foil on the bottom. I didn't wrap it with the smaller pan earlier. In fact, I did not put a top on it at all. Someone suggested not to do that. However, this time I'm going to put a silicone pad on the top of it. They suggested aluminum foil, but aluminum foil has been shown to not be good if you don't want Alzheimer's. So I don't know, but I just don't do anything aluminum. This is aluminum, but I believe it has some kind of a BPA-free coating on it. It's real hard to find cooking equipment other than pots and pans that you cook with like that are stainless steel, although they are, you can find them. I do have stainless steel cake pans and things like that. But we're gonna go ahead and just pour the batter in here. And this is kind of cool because this one has it's got like a ridge around it, so if anything did drip out, it would be caught in here, which is kind of nice. The only thing is that it doesn't fit on the little trivet that goes in the Instant Pot very easily, but normally you would have a pan of water, maybe up about 2 inches on this, and you would cook that in the oven in the pan of water for, in this case, I'm going to say an hour. The bigger one I do 2 hours. I have no idea. I'm going to have to experiment with this in the oven. So this quick video has already gone 17 minutes. So what I'm going to do is take the batter here, and you see how beautiful it is. Look at that. Now, I did see one lady do a cheesecake where, oh my gosh, she almost had to spoon it in here, so I'm not sure what is going on, but I need to get my spatula because my sister gets every single drop when she bakes or cooks. There's nothing left, but you know me, I like to tell my honey, I have a job for you, and then he comes and he cleans all my bowls. So I don't have to do that, but I try to get as much as I can. So this is going to be interesting. I already did one cheesecake in the Instapot today, and I thought I was going to be done, but I think I'm going to do, Oh, I like it. I like it. It's good. Let me get the Instapot, show you how quick it is. Now, I have had pressure cookers for years, but what intrigued me about this one is it can go longer than an hour, and it does a lot of other stuff. You can make yogurt in it. It just does a lot of stuff. I was intrigued with baking a cake in it. I could try it again, and I found out in all my research that I can replace these gaskets, so I've been having trouble with my old one. So we have our pot, and I am going to put some, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my good water really quick because I don't like to use any water that's not good. Because if it's going to touch my food at all, I want it to, let me just go over here. So they said to put a cup of water in it. It doesn't really matter. I put a little bit. You really can't see, but you get the picture. If you're using the Instapot, then you must have an Instapot that you're, working with. This is the smaller. This is the 6 quart, and it comes with the trivet so that I can just set the cheesecake down into the pot. It's not going to be sitting in the water when I'm doing it in my water bath in the refrigerator. Oh, then I'm going to have to do it this way. When I'm doing it in my water bath in the sink, in the oven, it goes in the water, so we do the aluminum foil, but you know, like I said, I am going to experiment with that. And I'm just setting this in. I'll get the camera and I'll bring you over to it and show you really quick here. Of course, I'm always out of juice every time I go to videotape, so let's see if I got enough to do it. There. See, isn't that nice? And then we're just going to turn it on. I'm going to get over here really close. Let me get you plugged in again. Oh, I think it'll be okay. So, I was really impressed with the Instapot because it has stainless steel pot, which is awesome. My other one had is Teflon, and it was already scratched when I bought it, but it was the only one they had left, so I got it anyway. So all we're going to do is I am going to go, they said you can cover it with aluminum foil, but I don't use aluminum foil because, like I said, of the aluminum. So I would put, you can put, anytime it calls for that, I put parchment paper down first, and then I put the aluminum foil over it, and that works really good for me. I feel okay with that. I think I can do that.